everybody, so this is not your normal video of the usual fanfictions we've been reading so far. I'm actually going to be doing a yonder request today for this commenter who suggested that I should do a normal Eyeless Jack X listener one shot. Specifically, they requested a one shot, so I'm like, why not? Because I've been doing like these random like one shot requests and all that. Anywho, this is like a completely new website I've never been on in my gosh darn life. It's fan crazed, and okay, I might save this for future purposes. It looks freaking badass. All right, no cap. So the author that made this is Agent 3088, 2018. Wow, this actually tells you today. That's actually really cool. All right, so it's called Claimed Creepypasta One Shot, Eyeless Jack X Listener. Now, I don't know if there's a part 2 to this, but we'll check later the more we read into it. Like after we finish reading this, all right? All right. So, Claimed fandom creepypasta character Eyeless Jack. Reader's info, female, a college student studying to become a doctor, works at a medical clinic. Bold, smart, confident, curious, calm and collected, usually, caring and convincing. Requested by somebody, unquotive. And they, for the notes, they said, I apologize if EJ is OOC in this one shot. I do not know what that means. I'll just, you know what? Hold on. Let me look. No, look it up though. I'll look it up later, or I'll put it in the description what it means if I find out. Anyways, Claimed. Your POV. I'm so tired. I mumbled to myself as I washed my hands in the bathroom. Currently, I was stuck working the night shift at the medical clinic I worked at. You see, I'm a college student, studying to become a doctor. It takes a lot of work and effort. Not to mention seeing blood multiple times every day isn't the prettiest sight in the world. But I knew for a fact that I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to help people, make them get better and healthier. I wanted to contribute myself to the world, make my life have meaning. I didn't want to die one day and then realize that I didn't make any change in the world. Besides, I was always excellent when it came to the medical field of work. Once my hands were thoroughly washed, I put my HL, slightly messy, HC colored hair in a bun. I'm going to say that right now. I straightened my medical uniform and quickly checked the notifications on my cell phone. I had missed a call from my roommate, BFN. I'll call them back later, I thought to myself aloud. I also had some notifications from TikTok and a few new emails. Other than that, there were no other urgent notifications. I shoved my phone back into my pocket. At that moment, I heard somebody knock on the bathroom door. I headed to the door and exited the bathroom. It was a patient who was waiting outside to use the bathroom. I apologize, ma'am, for taking so long. I apologized to the elderly woman. She waved off my apology. It's all right, dear. I understand the medical procedures of washing your hands. Either way, I was just about to leave. After saying that, the woman entered the bathroom, closing the door behind her. I turned around and gazed at the lobby/waiting room. There was hardly anyone. What do you expect? We're a medical clinic, not a hospital. The night shift was the worst shift because you worked from 6 o'clock p.m. to 12 o'clock in the morning, and there were hardly any patients to tend to, except for the rare emergency patient. I checked the time on my phone. It read 10 p.m. 2 more hours to go. With that last statement, I walked off to go work on some paperwork, since I had nothing else to do. About 1 hour and 30 minutes, had passed since I started working on the unsorted paperwork. Most of the other employees had already clocked/signed out, even though it was still 30 minutes until 12 o'clock. But I couldn't exactly complain. I had to agree to stay a little bit after my shift ended. To do what, you might ask? Well, to clean up a bit. make sure everything was in order and in their correct places, and to lock up, which basically meant locking the doors and being the last person to leave. Even though it was supposed to be the rookie's job, apparently. The new employees had decided to clock out early, without the manager's permission. They're definitely going to get a lecture tomorrow. I almost feel bad for them. Almost. I thought to myself. Anyway, I finished sorting out the remaining paperwork until I had to start closing up. It was now closing time. I was the only person in the medical clinic at this time. Or, that's what I thought. I started tidying up, placing things in the correct position/location, etc. That's when I heard it. A barely audible clang came from the storage room where they kept extra blood, emergency organs, and other things necessary in case of an emergency. What was that? I wondered to myself, contemplating whether or not I should check it out. Eventually, I decided to check it out, in case it was a burglar. But just in case, I grabbed a sharp scalpel from a desk, and I made sure that I had 911 on speed dial on my phone. Once I was prepared, I started to silently sneak towards the storage room. Once I reached the storage room door, I noticed that it was wide open. This was definitely closed and locked up a few moments ago. I thought to myself. I took a deep breath and peeked into the storage room. The dim light made it hard to see, but my eyes had grown accustomed to the dark. I had been walking around this medical clinic with the lights off for the past couple of minutes, after all. I scanned the room. And that was when I saw him. He, or at least I assumed it was a male, was rummaging through a storage of kidneys. He wore dark-colored clothing, and he had something covering his face. He had brown hair and from what I could tell, gray skin. Who is he? I started to creep into the room, my scalpel readied in my hand, but then, crack! I accidentally stepped on some broken glass shards on the floor. The man immediately whirled around. When he saw me, he paused for a second. Before lunging at me, he pinned me to the ground, pressing his own scalpel against my neck. Not cutting it, though. My eyes were as wide as saucers as I stared up at him. A startled as well as a scared look on my face. Even though I was scared, I studied his features. He had a dark blue mask on, with black goo dripping out of the eye holes. I could see sharp teeth through the mouth hole on the mask. We stared silently at each other until I gathered enough courage to talk. "Excuse me, but who the fuck are you?" I yelled, struggling to push him off of me. With no luck, unfortunately. I was too weak to push his body off of me. The man stared silently at me before he started to laugh. Once he stopped laughing, he got off of me and stood up. Meanwhile, I simply laid on the ground in shock, surprised that he actually got off of me. Then, for some reason, the man outstretched a hand to me, offering to help me off the floor. I hesitated, before slowly taking his hand. He yanked me up and pulled me against him. I leaned down and started to... What? He leaned down and started to whisper in my ear. "The name's Eyeless, Jack, sweetheart." He then straightened up and let go of me. I stumbled out of his arms and backed away from him. Why the fuck are you here? I can call the police right now, and then you can get arrested for trespassing. I shouted at him, but he just laughed and started to walk towards me. "You seem interesting. I like you. Maybe I'll claim you as my own," he said, walking closer and closer to me as I backed away from him. Soon enough, I backed into a wall with nowhere to go. The man, Eyeless Jack, trapped me against the wall, blocking me from escaping with his arms. He leaned down towards my face. Maybe I will claim you. He licked his lips before turning around and walking away from me. "I'll see you again soon, sweetheart," he called to me as he walked down the hallway. I just stared at him in shock. When I blinked my eyes and reopened them, he was gone, without a trace. What did he mean, claim me as his own? Ooh, jump scare. I would be scared too, damn. That's actually really good. I like that. Now let me go ahead and see if they have a second part to this, because I'm actually really curious. All right, so I started a random chapter because there seems to be like literally like no more of it, I assume, because they just started a new thing that's called New Kid of South Park. And I bet you if I press this, it's going to be chapter 6. And then after that, chapter 7. There's no way to look at every single, like all chapters at once. So I'm assuming they just have not done it, sadly. Anywho, what do you think would happen the next they meet if there was a part 2? Let me know in the comments down below. Please, like, if you can, write in, like, if you, as if you were the author, but, like, write, like, the second part to this if you can. And if someone actually does it, I'll read it. If someone actually writes a part 2 to this, because you're just upset just as I am that there's no part 2 to that, I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it. But if you guys want to read it on your own and read the other authors' one-shots and whatnot, I will. I'm gonna put the link to where I found this in the description, and anything else that is of importance. I would have read another one, but I am kind of tired right now, so I wanted to go kind of basic today, and I also wanted to complete this request that a commenter was requesting that I mentioned earlier. So yeah, I do hope you guys did enjoy this though. Like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more amazing videos, guys. Sadly, your girl's gotta cut it short. So I'll be seeing you guys later. Bye and peace.